Hello guys, Isaac Frank here and welcome back to yet another video. In the previous video we discussed about arrays and we really covered a lot about arrays. In this tutorial we'll talk about enums. And what is enum? Enum is a user-defined data type that contain readable names for constants. If you have been programming the C language, you should know enum from the C language. This is basically the same thing and the same concept of everything. Why should we use enums? Enums are when you want to group a set of things together, or you're trying to find the state of a particular let's say you create a chat app and you're trying to find the state of when the user is online or offline. You can make use of enums, or you're trying to group between parents or kids just for classification basically. So how do we define enum? You start by writing the word enum and then you write the variable name. So I'll call this status, and then use the like a function, use the curly brackets. So this creates an enum, and the values in it are they're called members. So to create a status enum, and I want to know if the user is online, if he's offline, and if he's inactive, maybe block. So to create, you just write in names of the variables you want to create. Want to create if it's online, want to click if offline, want to click if it's blocked. As you can see, I did not add a semicolon. Yeah, that's how enums are declared. You don't need to add a semicolon at the end of it, like something like this or something like this. And now you've created your own personal data type. How do we access the members of this? To do that, we need to first assign. We've created an enum, but we've not assigned it to any variable. We need to assign this enum to a variable before getting the members of this variable. Just like you assign it to a class, then get the functions of a class. So we'll create a variable here. Remember when I said enums is you create your own data type. So to create a data type of a variable we'll create, let's call this status, and it should equal status dot online. Status should be status dot online. It makes this to be a data type, which means we can define this to be status. Oh shit! We can find this to be status, and we're giving it a data type of status, and we're giving it the member of value. So the way enums represent this value is that it starts from 0. And the very beginning is 0 and 1 and 2 and so on. So if there are multiple requests here, it keeps increasing. So the first element is 0. It is integer. So this online should return 0. This is 0. This value should return 0 and makes it 0. Then this is the way you access enum variables. You can get the offline variable. You can get block variable, but these are just a name for 1, 2, 3 and so on. Sorry, these are just a name for 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. So the first variable is start from 0. We've accessed the enum variable. So next we have here is to transition through different values. Okay, so let's say don't think we need this. We'll create a new enum. Let's say we are building a game. Okay, this is a level, sorry. So let's say we're building a game, and these are the levels we have. This is level 1, this is level 2, this is level 3, and this is level 4. And these are the names I'm giving it. Alright, so we've created a variable that is of type this level, and we're assigning it to so call this level. At the start of the game, the user should be in level 1, obviously, which is level spider monster, if this makes any sense. So at the start of the user should be in level. So once the user completes the level, we need to go to the level 2, and once the user completes level 2, we need to go to level 3 and so on. How do we transition through these values? Because the user can be here. How do we know where the user is, and how do we know we're supposed to go to iron, and how do we know we're supposed to go to spider monster, and how do we know how to move? Here I'll create a function. Basically this function is just an empty function. I'll call it complete level. We're just assuming the user has completed a level, and just public does nothing. So we assume the user has completed a level. So now we have to transit from this level to this level. To do this, I'll create another function. I'll call this next stage or next level. I'll make it an internal function so it cannot be called from outside our smart contract or smart contract that inherited it. And then I need to increase the level. What I'll do here is since the level is in spider monster, I need to increase it to the snake. So the way to go about this now, the right way to go about this is let's think. We need to add, once ever user completes a level, we need to carry it to the next level. We have this next level here, and we should just call it here next level. We just say level should equal level. So in here we can put the index of the level we want to go to. We want it to be +1 of this level. So we input whatever the level is. Remember, the level, all these are integers, but they just gave it a nice looking name. So this is 0. If we should add 1 to this, it goes to 1. If we should add 1 to this, it should go to 1, but we're having an error. So like I said earlier, these are basically integers. So what we'll do is we'll typecast this to use an uint. So now we are getting the current level, we're adding 1 to it. So level becomes the next level. Just to be sure our code works, I'll make this a public. And I'll make this a public. Then I'll try deploying this contract. Oh, this old contract is still here. Okay, enums, I'll deploy. If we check the level, like I said, is they are integers. The level is at 0, which in our case is level 1. Once we complete a level, we try checking the level again. As you can see, the level is increased by 1. That's a way we can transition through the values in an enum. So enum data type is basically a user defined data type. The members in it are just basically integers with a good looking name, a human readable names. So the last we should talk about is this. What we can't do with the enums in Solidity. We can't just convert enum. You saw when I tried returning the level, you could not return it as uint. I had to typecast it. So that's one thing you can't do with enum. You have to typecast an enum to get the value. And next thing we can do, we cannot use it as a key. What can't we do with enums? Just as a dictionary is, and we have key and value, you cannot assign an enum as a key because it got stuff here, and you cannot just assign it. It's not allowed. In Solidity, there's a kind of dictionary for Solidity. It's called mapping, but you can make enum a value, but it cannot be a key. So what else can't we do with enum? Okay, we cannot return an enum. Just as you saw, we return an array, we can return a string, we can return a uint, an integer, but we can't return an enum. What I did here was not return the enum. I returned the value of the enum. So that's it, guys. That's all they need to know about enums. In the next video, we'll be talking about struct. It's also a data type, and we'll talk about how to implement struct, how to define struct, ways we can make use of struct to make our work easier, and why we should use struct in our Solidity projects. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop in the comment section below. As always, thanks for watching.